The Dying Light games are such an iconic franchise in the zombie universe. The first one is incredible even 10 years after its release, and the second one was it was okay. But when I heard about a third Dying Light game including Kyle Crane, I didn't mind spending $90 for it. This third installment does everything right. With the new inclusion of the Beast and all the insane gory zombie kills, Techland really cooked up with this one. In this video, watch me as I unlock every single achievement in Dying Light the Beast, including some which took me almost 15 hours alone just to complete. A quick recap before we start this game. We play as Kyle Crane. In the first game, he was dropped into the city of Haran to find missing files for a company called the GRE. Here we fight bad guys, witness basically all of our friends die to the infected, and we slowly find out that the GRE is evil and they're trying to weaponize the undead. After this, Kyle escapes Haran and goes to the countryside to meet with a strange cult. Here he meets a half human, half zombie called Mother, and she ends up drugging us with the same poison she took. This turns us into a zombie human hybrid and we go into hiding, but eventually we get caught. This leads us to the start of this game. The first thing we see is Crane getting wheeled around in a wheelchair and the many experiences we went through throughout the years. Apparently it's been almost 13 years since the first game, and this whole time we've been getting treated like a lab rat. Anyways, in the back we see two guys sneaking their way in and they knock out the first couple of scientists, but not before they get caught and get tased to the ground. We wake up once again, and in front of us is the main antagonist of the game. His name is the Baron. He tells us that he's found a better test subject and he won't be needing us anymore. With that comment, he orders the scientists to kill us. So we prepare for our death until... We wake up to the sound of a radio, and after crawling my way to it, on the other side is a girl named Olivia. She tells us to get up and start moving while that creature is distracting everyone. While trying to find an exit, we see a guy who didn't get so lucky when meeting the creature, and after stabbing myself with adrenaline, I can stand up and move on my own 2 feet. Right after this, I meet the first zombie of the game, and goddamn can he take a beating. I punched this guy like 6 or 7 times here, and he didn't want to die. Moving forward, Olivia tells us we can choose to be stealthy when there's a lot of zombies. She also directs us to an elevator which will lead to an exit. The only problem with this plan is this place is full of undead, so I prepare myself by ripping this old pipe and get ready for a battle. And I'm not gonna lie, one insane improvement I can already see is the gore in this game. With every hit from our weapon, you can really see the impact it makes, and it just looks amazing, man. Like, you can literally see the zombies' brains. Anyways, we get to the elevator, but since the facility is on lockdown, the doors won't open. So Olivia makes a bold move and decides to open every single door, including the ones holding in the zombies. With this many zombies coming towards us, it looks like it's gonna be a crazy standoff. Crazy was right. Because of all the experiments done on us, Crane is now half zombie and can enter beast mode, hence the title of this game. After ripping through the zombies, we enter the elevator. We also get a good look at the parkour mechanics as we climb our way out of here. We crawl through some vents and slide under these doors to escape the facility. We go outside for the first time and Olivia tells us we're in a city called Castor Woods. I also get the first achievement for escaping the bunker. I make my way through the forest until I reach this building. After entering it through an unlocked gate, I have to clear all the zombies, close all the exits, and turn on the generator and open the power. Only then I can secure the site. Here I wait for Olivia, and once she arrives, we see her for the first time. And yo, why is she kinda bad? Anyways, she tells us in order to become stronger, we'll need to harvest the blood from the creatures called Chimeras. They're basically zombies which have been tested on by the Baron, and they're a lot more stronger and advanced than the normal undead. And speaking of the devil, one of them is here right now. This is one of the Chimeras. It's almost like a mini boss fight with how much health he has, but once I get him to a low amount of HP, I'm able to rip his arm straight off and like break his back and shit. Like, I just rip his spine open. And I also get the second achievement for killing my first Chimera. After this, we start to lose consciousness because the adrenaline is finally wearing off. So with quick thinking, Olivia extracts the blood from the zombie and injects us with it. We still pass out though. A couple days go by and we finally wake up. Olivia tells us that the blood is able to heal us and every variant will affect us in a different way. With the injected blood, I unlocked a beast point which I can use to upgrade my beast abilities. While we're here, I get a good look at the items, the crafting, the upgrading system, and all the different clothes that we have in my inventory. story. We have another talk with Olivia and she tells us what we gotta do next. A, we have to collect more Chimera blood to become stronger, and B, we have to get strong enough to kill the Baron. She then gives us the sample device and we level up in the process. Now, this upgrade tree is a big change from Dying Light 1 and I'm not too sure if I like it, but I purchased a dropkick skill, and after testing it out on some zombies, I get the 3rd achievement for killing a zombie by dropkicking him. After this, I explored the open world the game has to offer, and there's a bunch of safe zones to find, zombies to kill, and there's even drivable cars in the game. There's also these new places called dark zones, but that's something I'll talk about later on. We make our way to this place called the Town Hall, where there's some survivors trapped by the Baron's men. When I get there, it looks like a massacre. There's a bunch of dead people, zombies are everywhere, and there's also another Chimera. And holy shit, bro. Don't tell me this doesn't look like the tank from Left 4 Dead. But to my surprise, we kill him pretty easily and extract his blood. We then stab ourselves with it and gain another beast point. We have a small reaction to it, but honestly, he's legit injecting himself with zombie blood, so I can't really blame him. Anyways, we open the door and find all the people who managed to hide. This guy is called Jacob, and he tells us that the sheriff is on the roof trying to get the UV lights on. So being Kyle Crane, I take actions into my own hands and go find the sheriff. And this is the sheriff. Oh hell no, we're for sure dying here tonight. She tells us that we need to go get the backup system working, and look at this atmosphere. We get the power on, but we have to connect the cables for it to work. And since we only have a limited amount of cable, I'll need to take the most efficient way possible. I plug in the cable and the sheriff thanks us. We get back to the town hall and one of the survivors got bit in the process. In this world, once you get bit, there's basically nothing you can really do, so without hesitation, he kills himself right then and there. Jacob tells us that before they got attacked, they saw a beast bigger than they've ever seen before, and that he escaped just as we arrived. I also get the 4th achievement for saving the survivors in the town hall. Right after that, I equipped a mod on my weapon, and these mods are like collectibles I can find throughout the game, and they all do something different like bonus fire damage, toxic damage, etc. I get an achievement for this. Jacob pulls it to the side and he says that he saw the beast running towards the church in the town, and this could be our only chance for us to catch him. The only problem is it's currently nighttime right now, and you know what that means. Yup, you guessed it, the Volatiles are back and 10 times worse in this game. The Volatiles only come out at night and they can hear you if you sprint, they can smell you, they're faster than you, and choosing a fight with them is almost certain death. I follow the beast's trails, and while exploring the night, I make the stupid decision to fire my pistol. This attracts every Volatile and I get into a hectic chase scene with them. I found myself trapped on this bridge, so I jump off of it to try and leave them, but the second I get out the water, they catch me and kill me on the spot. I also get an achievement for killing a Volatile. I guess this happened when I jumped off the bridge, but I'll take it anyways. After respawning, I head to the church, this time avoiding all the Volatiles. I go through the basement and sneak by all these zombies. Once I enter the building, everyone is dead, and the beast shows itself by jumping everywhere and leaving through the church window. I continue following his trail, and after hearing some radio chatter saying that he's in the tunnel, I sprint my way there. I also get the 7th achievement for running at least 10,000 meters. I enter the tunnel, and after getting jump scared by a zombie, I see another one of these big guys. Instead, this time I throw a Molotov at him and watch him burn. This doesn't kill him, so I take his weapon and do the job myself. I continue following footsteps until I reach this area. Dying soldier then takes a grenade and we get thrown to the side. We find out that the beast is still alive, but we've also got bigger problems on our hands right now. We get into another chase scene with the Volatiles, but this time I managed to run away from them and barely escape them. Just like the other two games, they can't survive in the sunlight. So I go back to Olivia to give her the blood samples, and she gives us another location of a Chimera to go find. On my way there, I stop to secure some safe zones and do some side missions along the way. These are all small steps to unlock achievements later on. I find out the Chimera is located in the swamp, and after swimming around, I find the place where he stays at. This creature with his long arms and his agile body is not one to mess with. He'll also jump at you and use smoke to distract you. Once I get him low enough, I grab him by the leg and slam him side to side just like in the cartoon. I inject myself with the blood and move forward. I head back to the town hall, and one of the side missions required me to go into the dark zones. So these are small areas that have been taken over by the zombies, and here we'll find a lot of good loot and upgrade books that I'll need for upgrading my weapons. I go back into the town hall and speak with the sheriff and Jacob. They tell us that we need to go turn on the power at the power plant. On my way to the building, we hear a guy warning us to stay away, but his threats don't faze us, and when we finally meet him, he's sitting all alone in his office. This Discord mod looking ass is called Largo, and he tells us that the building with turbines is flooded and full of zombies. So again, I ignore his warnings and go into the building. And just saying, this whole time, this dude's talking shit to us on the radio, telling us we're gonna die and that this is our funeral and it's not worth it. We also meet another type of zombie here, and this guy explodes if we get too close to him. So I reach the power room, and it turns out he wasn't lying after all. And after doing a bunch of stuff that I don't really feel like explaining, I managed to turn on the power, drain all the water from this area, and fix the pipes with this wrench. Largo, being shocked that we actually pulled this off, tells us to meet him in the main lobby. And to our surprise, he was working with the Baron. The ambush leads to Crane in handcuffs, and after one too many taunts and punches to our stomach, we go rage mode and kill every single one. Once they're all dead, I leave the station now having turned on the power, and this had a chain reaction to the whole city. A guy named Pietro radios us and tells us about the smaller substations scattered throughout the map. He tells us to turn some on while we explore the map because it'll help everyone in the town hall. After that, I go back to the sheriff, and after a small conversation with her, I get the 8th achievement for discovering the Baron's sabotage. Olivia then calls us, and she says that she may have found another Chimera. But before I go do her mission, this is a good time to explore the side quest. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these are really cool. They're all well thought out, and they even have their own cutscenes to them. And alongside blueprints for weapons, there's also collectibles in the game which I'll need to find. So after having a little bit of fun with this zombie, I head to the place Olivia was talking about. And instead of finding a Chimera, we only see this strange device here. Next to it is a big gas canister labeled E and F, and Olivia realizes that it's a company on the south side of the city. She then tells us to go check it out. Another really interesting thing about these Dying Light games are the amount of small details in the game. Like right now we can see it's raining, so if we pull up our map, we'll see small rain droplets that fall on the paper. Another examples are when we fight the virals in the game. A viral is a person who just turned into a zombie, and they'll be quicker and faster than older ones. But the thing is, when you hit them, you can still hear the sound of their human voice leaking out. So it's really cool to see how much effort Techland puts into their games. Anyways, we get to the ENF facility, and this place is filled with the Baron's men. So instead of going all out, I decide to be a little bit sneaky and kill some of the men with my bow and arrow. This causes me to enter the building without getting caught, and here I find another one of these devices. Searching the area, I find one of the scientists, and with a small technique I call pointing a shotgun to his face, he tells us that the gas canisters have a special scent that will attract the chimeras to it. He also mentions that there's some canisters in the basement that we can use for the Chimera. So I take one and drive to the location where I can fight this guy, and once I reach the junkyard, I put the canister in the device and wait for the monster to come out. The gas fumes spiral into the air, and just like magic, the Chimera appears. This guy is a beast. He's like 10 feet tall and he could throw cars at us. The only problem I got for him is, why am I at penis level, bro? Like the whole time I'm just cutting up either his ass or his balls. Anyway, after killing him, I sample his blood and inject myself. Moments after, the sheriff calls me and she says that she found a secret hideout that the Baron has. And after climbing the sides of this mountain, I reach the sheriff. And fun fact, that jump scare actually made me shit my pants while playing. We go talk to the sheriff and she says that they're hiding something in that cave. Since there's a lot of guards, I decide to sneak around and throw some of these distraction bombs I got from a side quest. And this shit literally does nothing, so instead I resorted to stealth kills, and finally I get inside the cave. We do a lot of killing here, but to save some time, we managed to get into this mini house of some sort, and after asking the sheriff what to do, this happened.
Sheriff, you copy?
Yep. And I'm sorry, Kyle, but I need to protect my people.
Fuck.
What the fuck? He really backstabbed us like that? And look who's here again, none other than the Baron. He tells us that we're part of the past now, and his new beast is so much stronger than us in every way. Crane doesn't like these comments, so he fights some guards and throws one of them on the machine to unlock the door. And just like before, the beast kills some guys, then runs away. And the Baron, being a stupid idiot, thinks that it's a smart idea to shoot a grenade launcher in a cave. This causes everything to collapse and we get stuck inside this box. Slowly, we make our way out of the cave, passing by some volatiles, and we get back to Jacob to tell him about the news. Obviously, he's shocked, and apparently, the sheriff managed to get all their stuff and leave just before we got back to the town hall. Since Jacob isn't a soldier, he tells us to go find a group of exiles forced out a while ago. These guys are called the infected ones. In short, they're humans who have been tested on by the Baron and now live on mushrooms and UV light to prevent becoming fully infected. I also get the 9th achievement for getting a mountain dropped onto my head. While walking around town, this happens.
Crane, can you hear me? What the hell?
So yeah, someone is talking to us telepathically, and Crane does not like that. The man tells us to meet him somewhere as he wants to help us take down the Baron. He calls himself Sven. He tells us since we were infected, that's the reason why we can talk telepathically. He asks us for our help in finding his missing friends, and after following some of the Baron's men, we find them and bring them back to their secret base. Once at the base, we meet this girl called Lydia. She's kinda like the sheriff of these infected people, and she's also upset at Sven for making so much noise. She's afraid that they'll get caught by the Baron, and now that Crane is here, it'll be even worse. Anyways, he also introduces us to someone called Selby, and she's the radio specialist in this area. She gives us a small mission, which is to fix some radios so that we can intercept the Baron's frequency. She also gives us a grappling hook, which with a little practice can be used to do some pretty cool tricks with. Selby then tells us that we need to get a radio transmitter and place it on the Belfry Tower, the highest point in the city. So after making my way there and scaling the tower for like 10 minutes or something, I finally make it to the top and place the transmitter. Now this gives Selby access to all of the Baron's radio comms. Almost immediately she picks up a conversation and they're planning on blowing up the town hall from the sewers. So I rush there as fast as I can, and when I arrive, the guards are waiting for me. While fighting them, I have to disarm the explosives on the wall, and once all of them are done, I call Sven and he thanks us for our service. After this, I do some side quests, which includes moving a crane to pick up a container and burning all of these zombies with a flamethrower. Moving forward, Olivia tells us to go to this park and activate the gas again. This will attract another Chimera that we'll need to fight. This guy spits acid balls at us and he's pretty easy to beat. I didn't have any problems with him, and once again I extract his blood, inject myself, and give the sample to Olivia. After meeting with her, she leaves with the sample and Lydia contacts me. First she wants to thank me for activating the radio, and then she explains how they overheard chatter about the Baron's experiments. Apparently there's a site at a school nearby, and she tells us to meet with a man named Ray. Once I reach the school, Ray tells me to enter through the roof and descend down the stairs to avoid getting caught. Our mission right now is to sneak around and find some research that we can use. And while exploring the area, I managed to find a scientist instead. He pleads with his life and explains that he works for the Baron but will help us if we save his life. I agree to this plan and call Ray to extract him in a car. We also collect some research on our way out and leave the school. On my way back to the base, I meet this weird looking old man called Starchild. He's your typical crackhead, druggy old man, and he claims that he can help us control the beast inside of us. He also tries to hypnotize us.
Get ready to enter into a new experience. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that shit doesn't work on me.
He tells us to go collect some bark from a tree, but when I arrive to this area, this tree doesn't look like the others. It seems to be like affecting the zombies in a certain way, almost controlling them. And it doesn't help that when I cut a piece off of the tree, it starts bleeding and screaming at me. So I run for my life and get the fuck out of there. I give the bark to Starchild and he makes a drink with all the ingredients. Upon drinking it, I fall asleep and wake up surrounded by needles. Being cautious of what's ahead, I realize I'm back at the hospital at the start of the game. The only difference is I'm hallucinating past events in my life. I hear voices in my head, I pass by visions of my old friend, I see myself going crazy, and finally when I get to the end of the hallway, I open this door. On the other side, I'm greeted with zombie versions of myself. So I kill myself in a third person sense, but more and more keep coming until I'm fully surrounded by them. That's when Starchild talks to me from above and tells me to use my inner beast. With that, I enter beast mode and kill everyone and everything. I then wake up from that nightmare and Starchild is waiting for me at the fire pit. Now, we have a little conversation with him, but what if I told you this whole section was just a side mission? This whole part is something that you could miss if you only go for the main story, and to me that's insane. The fact that the developers put this much effort into a skippable mission is crazy. Anyways, once I get back to Lydia at the base, I ask where Ray and the scientist are, and of course they never made it back. Now in a panic, Lydia tells me to go find them right away. After retracing my steps, I figure out where Ray ended up at, and guys, it's not looking too good for him. We find the scientist in one of the nearby houses, and here he tells us his name is Camillo. He tells me that they got into a freak accident when one of these chimeras grabbed a pole and threw it into the car. Shortly after, Lydia comes in and apparently these two know each other. Camillo was the scientist assigned to them, but unlike the others, he actually took care of the people and treated them like humans rather than test subjects. I level up to level 11 and I call Olivia to recap her on everything that just happened. Then she tells us about a new area with a possible chimera in it. On my way there, I pass by this poster, and what kind of freaky ass dev added this in the game, bruh? Anyways, since I hit level 11, I unlocked the expert upgrade book, and this I can use to fully upgrade one of my blueprints. I meet up with Olivia at the place and fight the chimera we were looking for. This guy is kinda like the second chimera we killed, and after beating him, I extract his blood and go back to Olivia. Here, she has a small talk with us, and after doing some research, she tells us that her father was the creator of that special gas. Now, this part of the story is pretty weird, but basically both Olivia and her father were once working for the Baron, but only as slave labor, and only she was able to escape, whereas her father is still stuck with them, and now she wants us to save her father as well. So yeah, it's a bit random, but whatever. After that, I go back to Olivia and Camillo, and apparently his research shows a way where with the proper infusion, Lydia will be able to control the undead. The only problem is the ingredients needed for this infusion are located in a volatile nest, one of the most dangerous places to be in. So to prepare myself, I go do some side missions, and this one has to be the most disturbing one yet. We're assigned with finding a man named Rick. He disappeared a while ago and no one can reach him. His last whereabouts were in this tunnel system. And once I get close to the area, we hear a voice.
Need your help. They're attacking me.
Wait, what?
After killing the Baron's men surrounding the tunnel, the voice speaks to us again.
Good. They're dead. Now come to us.
What the hell is going on?
Being skeptic of our situation, I continue into the darkness, and after seeing weird markings and drawings on the wall, the situation starts to get even weirder. And when we open this door, all the zombies seem to be ignoring us. Even when I hit them, they pretend not to see me. It's almost like someone is controlling them. I find out that the soldiers were here to blow up this tunnel, so I take some with me just in case. I continue moving forward until the walls and the ceiling start to get eaten by this zombie flesh. I even see a zombie stuck in the wall, and with nothing else to do but go deeper, I find one of the soldiers worshipping the flesh. I reach this area and holy shit, looks like we found our missing guy. This thing is what was talking to us. He tells us to join his swarm, to be a unity with him. But that's when I realized this is Rick. The infection was able to somehow use his body as a host, and it evolved into this. Now understanding the severity of this situation, I try to pull Rick out of this trap, but it doesn't work and it seems that he's stuck here forever. So I make a hard decision and I decide to put Rick out of his misery. The gunshot causes all the zombies to come after us and we get the fuck out of there. I also blew up the tunnel for good measure. Now feeling ready for the volatile nest, I go into the cave. I descend deeper and deeper in the cave until I find another Chimera. His special power is that he could go invisible, and again after I kill him, I extract his blood and do the same shit. I finally reach the volatile nest, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't clenching my ass cheeks. This whole area is surrounded by volatiles, and one small move can get you caught in here. Nonetheless, I get the 3 samples needed for the infusion and I creep my way out of the cave. I go back to Lydia and give her the samples. Also, while playing the game, I realize it's been a while since I got an achievement, so I go for the gunslinger one, which is to get 6 headshot kills with a revolver under 20 seconds. This unlocks the 10th achievement. We meet back up with Olivia, and she tells us that her father was the person who brought us to the Baron with the purpose of saving us. Since we were half human, half zombie, he managed to restore our humanity, but that's when the Baron came in and wanted to exploit our condition. Using our blood, he was able to make all of these chimeras, so technically we're fighting like failed replicas of ourselves. Anyways, we tell Olivia to stay safe and she drives off. While at this location, we fight the last chimera, and once I kill him, I get the 11th achievement for killing every chimera in the game. While driving outside, Lydia calls me and says Camillo has created the infusion and to meet with her. I also get the 12th achievement for killing 500 zombies with a vehicle. I get another one for activating all the substations as well. After that, I find this guy named Travis. And let me ask you guys this. If there was a zombie apocalypse in real life, what's the first thing on your mind? Is it A, finding weapons and storing food? B, leaving the city and finding shelter elsewhere? Or C, kill as many as you can? Well, if you ask our buddy Travis over here, he would have said gambling with his friends. So yeah, Travis is a degen loser and he spends his whole day placing bets on who can drive his car the fastest. So we get challenged to participate, and if you get a gold medal in all 4 of his races, you'll get an achievement for doing so. And I'm not gonna lie, these gold medals are down to the wire, like I'm only giving 1 to 2 seconds of error, but they were pretty fun to do. After I complete his parlay, I get another achievement for finishing all the side quests in the game. Finally, I meet up with Lydia, and after taking the first dose, she has enough power to make the zombies ignore us. Camillo says in order to strengthen the infusions, we'll need a drug from the hospital, but not any hospital. He wants us to go into the city's mental hospital for it. So you're telling me, right after I went into a volatile nest, I need to go into a mental hospital where they keep psychos and insane people? Yeah, it's time to slime out Camillo. At least with Lydia's new ability, she'll be helping us the whole way. Even with her powers though, this is still a bad place to be in, and on top of the 5 million zombies in here, there's also volatiles that roam the hallways. So I get to searching for this jug, and behind this zombie I find the collectible, and I try to take it, but by accident I press the wrong button and kick him. This causes Lydia to lose control of the zombies, and now look how many zombies are after me. Luckily the door was closed, but with no way out I had to open it. And before doing this I had a plan in mind, and that plan was to use my flamethrower. And after killing all these zombies, I get the 16th achievement for killing 112 zombies with my flamethrower. I managed to escape the situation, and after a couple minutes of searching, I finally find the jug I've been looking for. But as soon as I open this cabinet, an alarm sounds and Lydia loses control of all the zombies again. This causes all the volatiles to come chase me, and to be honest, this was a really fun chase. Yeah, I was shitting my pants the whole way, but I even navigated through a maze at one point and it was pretty sick. Once I get to safety, I wait till day and meet up with Lydia and Camillo. With this drug, she will be able to have complete control over the zombies. That's when out of nowhere, we get a radio call from the town hall. The Baron sent his men to go raid the building and we have to stop him. On our way there, the sheriff, out of everyone, talks to us. She wants to apologize.
I owe you an apology.
Fuck that. Apology not accepted.
She says the guards put the gas in front of the town hall and we need to get rid of it before chimeras start coming in. I managed to take out some of the Baron's men and get rid of most of the gas until the sheriff sees something in the distance. One of the chimeras had heard all the noise. I kill him, but out of nowhere another 2 just spawned in. Lydia tells me to get one to a weaker point, and once I do, she's able to control him and make them fight each other. After that, she even forces him to leave and he walks away like nothing happened. So after this mess, let's see what the sheriff has to say for herself.
Just listen to me.
What could you possibly say to justify what you did to me?
Soon after you got the power plant up and running, his men caught me out on a patrol. I didn't stand a chance. I thought I was dead. And the Baron gave me an ultimatum. If I didn't give you up, he would kill not just me, but every single one of my people.
Alright, bro, whatever you say. So she could have like told us something before she did that, but that explains why she betrayed us. Lydia pulls up, and remember that they were exiles from the town hall? Well, this creates a little awkward encounter for the two. But now's not the right time for arguing, so we form a plan. If we use that special gas, we can locate and find the beast, and since Lydia can use her new powers, we can control the beast and use him to fight the Baron. I also get the 17th achievement for this. With our newly formed plan, I take some of the gas cans and place them on my car, spreading the gas everywhere until the beast smells it and comes out of his hiding spot. Finally, he sees me and jumps in my car. This makes me crash, and then we find him in a cave. And after all this time, we can finally fight the beast one-on-one. While fighting him, one thing I have to be careful about is that I cannot kill him. Since we need to capture him, we need him alive, and I can only weaken him until Lydia can control his mind. So after a couple minutes and bashing him with my baseball bat, he falls to the floor and Lydia mind controls him. I get the 18th achievement for capturing the beast. Now, strap yourself in because there's a lot of lore coming up and I'm gonna summarize it quickly. So, we managed to humanize the beast, and this guy calls himself Aiden. So, Aiden was the protagonist of Dying Light 2, and before he got turned, he was on a mission with Spike to rescue us from the Baron. So, if you remember, these were the two guys from the start of the game. And also, for those that don't know, Spike is a character that we knew from the first and second game. We keep talking and asking questions until the Baron calls us and tells us that he kidnapped Olivia and has Spike held hostage. Aiden, wanting to go save Spike, asks if he could go by himself, but obviously we tell him no and we wait till the morning to ambush him. But of course, that idiot Aiden doesn't listen and goes without us. So now without our wild card, we're stranded and we need to find a way to get to the Baron. And that's when the sheriff makes a new plan. If we go through a tunnel located in the sewers, we can blow up a couple walls and manage to sneak in without him seeing us. While I'm here, it legit feels like I'm fighting an endless battle against the Baron's men. They just did not want to stop attacking me. We fight for so long that it went from night to day and I was still trying to kill all of them. After that, I turn on this switch and open the doors for my teammates to come in. I let them all in, but in the process, Sven gets shot in the shoulder and dies. Lydia gets pissed off because Sven was her best man and she does something pretty cool with her powers. She controls a bunch of virals to scale the fortress and to go after the soldiers. While they're all distracted with the zombies, I find an opening and rush into the building. Here I see the Baron for a split second and then I get swarmed by another squad of soldiers. I kill them all and descend down this elevator, and to my surprise, in the Baron's house there's a whole connected underground train station, and this place is huge, like I'm basically driving a car inside this guy's basement. Moving forward, I fight chimeras, soldiers, and everything in between, until finally I get to the cell that Aiden is in. And as I'm trying to release him, this happens.
I'm sorry, Kyle.
What?
Ain't no fucking way. The sheriff betraying us, whatever. But Olivia, bro, nah, that's crazy. She even brushes us off as we pass out due to the gas. We wake up to everyone at a dinner table. Everyone we know got caught and we're all here together. This is why you can't trust these bad bitches, man. I'm telling you. Anyways, the Baron does a whole monologue and he explains that his master plan was to use Crate as live bait and Olivia as the one who directs us to the chimeras. To celebrate his accomplishments, he goes around the table one by one and tells everyone how they affected his goal. And that's when he gets the spike.
You are a fucking dead man!
He creeps his way to Camillo and he's about to do the same thing until Lydia uses his powers to fuck with the Baron's head. God damn! Yo, this guy is crazy. And he doubles down by doing this.
Ducked him around. Right. Your turn is coming, Crane.
The Baron's about to kill Lydia until Olivia intervenes.
No, stop. Please. Please don't do this.
This is what happens to those who cross me. You need to get your mind right, Olivia.
You need to prove to me that I can trust you.
Put Mr. Crane out of his misery. Put him down, like you would any wounded animal.
Kyle, I'm sorry. My father was bitten and the Baron refused to help him unless I did what he said. I had no choice.
Olivia, did you really think you could kill me? You have a future.
Damn, okay, yo, W Olivia, I can't lie.
I'm so sorry.
She then unlocks all of our chains and tells us she's sorry for what she did and that she was always by our side. The Baron then stabs himself with Chimera blood and he waddles away. Aiden kills some guards and I pick up a gun and we prepare ourselves for the final battle. This final battle was actually very challenging since the Baron injected himself with Chimera blood. He became strong and can now like withstand bullets, and he even sends Virals to fight us like mid-battle, which was kind of stressful. It almost reminded me of the game Trepanning a little bit. Anyways, after getting him low enough, he decides enough is enough, and look at what he does. So yeah, we gotta fight him as a Chimera now. And I'm not gonna lie, I did die here a couple times. He was not an easy boss, but in the end, we overpower him and this happens. And with that, we have finally killed the Baron once and for all. We call Olivia to see if she's okay, and that's when out of nowhere a GRE helicopter comes in. So yeah, the GRE from the first game is back in this one, and whatever bro, she says some stupid shit hinting at a fourth game, and we overfarm with our crew until the sun sets in the distance. I also get the 19th achievement for completing the game. Now that I've beaten the main story, I gotta go for all the other 11 achievements in the game. The first one I go for is to activate all the safe zones. I only missed one when doing the main game, so I get it quick right now. The next one was to reach level 15, which is also the max in the game, and after unlocking the last skill point, I get the 21st achievement. Then I go for the crane on a monument one, which all I had to do was climb this monument, and once I reach the top, I'll get the achievement. After that, I get the 23rd achievement for repairing my weapon 50 times. This one's pretty self-explanatory, nothing much to say about it. And now, just like in every open world game, there's going to be achievements for collecting all the collectibles. So one of them had me finding these beavers all around town, and they're all pretty funny to look at. I get the 24th achievement for finding all of them. Then there was also these 8 sigils that I had to find, and once I get them all, you can place them in this ritual circle and a sword will spawn. This is the EXP caliber from the first game, and if you've never played it, it was like a running joke that you have to wait 3 minutes before you can hold it, and in this game they did the exact same thing. So I had to hold the X button for like 3.5 minutes, I'm not too sure, but at the end, yeah, you get the sword and it's pretty ass, I'm not gonna lie. I also get the 25th achievement for finding all the Baron newspaper clippings, and I get 2 others for finding other specific collectibles. While going after these other achievements, every here and there I would go into beast mode and farm some zombie kills, and $100 to anyone who can say this without messing up. So yeah, I kill 666 zombies in beast mode and I get the 28th achievement. Then finally, after like 7 hours of walking around the city, I finally collect all 100 collectibles and get the Cabinet of Curiosity achievement. Now, do you guys remember how I mentioned that I could upgrade my blueprints? Well, this last achievement requires that I upgrade every single blueprint in the game. So let's do the math real quick. From my count, I needed at least 50 legendary blueprints to get this achievement. This means I'll need to get 50 expert blueprints, or 150 intermediate blueprints, or 450 beginner blueprints. Alongside all the other thousands of items I had to find to make these upgrades, this achievement was a grind to do. But after a couple of hours, I finally got it, fully 100%ing Dying Light the Beast. So before the video ends, if I were to rank this game with the others, I would give it an A tier, and I'll explain my reasoning. The game itself is very fun. Honestly, I enjoyed all 30 hours I spent getting the achievements, but some parts really lack when comparing to its predecessors. The story in this game, it's kind of ass. There's like 4 plot twists that just happen for no reason. Like, yeah, I get it, Olivia was trying to save her father, but like, why even add that whole plot line in the first place? You know, you could have like added someone else or some shit. And even like the sheriff trying to save her people and backstabbing us, just for her to like come back later on and say like, oh, I have to protect my people. And then obviously, because why not, they just said let's just add the GRE back in the game. I don't know, man. In my opinion, they could have like wrote that a little bit better or something. Also, the villain in this game didn't really feel like a villain until like the end. Like, bro, we see the Baron 4 times in total and then we fight him. That's it. When I remember how like Rias or whatever his name was in the first game was, he was legit evil, and he showed us that through his actions. Whereas with the Baron, like, bro, he just like shit talks us, he kills Spike and then Camillo. He doesn't really have that like villain aura to him. Other than that, the graphics in this game are incredible. The gameplay was very fun. There's a lot of Easter eggs and shit. Like, yeah, that's the most important thing that they got right. So yeah, if you got to the end of the video, I'd just like to say thank you for watching this and enjoy the rest of your day.